Hey guys, it's me, Sarah, and I'm here to talk about a really exciting project coming soon. So you may remember from 2015 Karibu News, the refugee and immigrant focused multilingual newspaper that was distributed throughout all over the city of Buffalo. Maybe you picked up one of the papers at Sweetness 7, throwback, remember when that existed. And we're really excited today because on this episode, I'm going to have the founder and creator of Karibu News, Rubens Mukunzi, is here today, and we're going to talk about the paper, what's it going to look like, and what's in store for the future.
Karibu,
Yeah, Karibu News back.
We're back.
We're back.
Karibu,
Welcome back, Buffalo, and we are here with Rubens Mukunzi from Karibu News. Welcome to the show. We're excited to have you.
Thank you, Sarah. It has been a while.
It has been a decade, quite literally 10 years. Yeah,
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, so Karibu is back.
Karibu is back, and I really want to have you give some more details about, what Karibu was in the initial phases. When you started Karibu, talk
Yes.
a little bit about the inspiration and why it was so important back in. I have the first issue with me right here. July 22nd, 2015 was when we first printed. What was going on back then?
Yeah, I'll take you back in 2015 when I started this newspaper. But before we talk when I started the newspaper, remember, I'm a refugee from Rwanda. I got here in New York, Buffalo, 2013, I think.
Yeah.
So when I got here as a refugee, of course, I was seeking for asylum, which was very challenging for me. And this was my first time I got to USA. So of course, I was ready to face many challenges. Buffalo, it's a beautiful city, but when you come here for the first time, there is a lot of challenges, right? There is a language barrier. Where I came from, I didn't have a chance to speak English. And the weather, it was very challenging, of course. The winter in Buffalo.
Yeah, our winters are quite brutal. I do want to say you didn't speak English, but you spoke, 5 other languages?
Yes, I normally speak my mother tongue, which is Kinyarwanda. There is another language called Kirundi. It's our neighbor country, spoken in Burundi. And I speak Swahili, so I speak French, but now I speak English. So those are 5 languages that I speak now. Yes, then, I started my life without any family or friend. I was lucky to start a job. It was a little job that I was doing that time back in 2014.
Yeah.
But the time I was working, I was meeting different people from different community, from different countries, coming here too, struggling like I was struggling. And then the idea came to my mind because I saw that in my mind, I thought I was alone struggling.
Right, it's isolating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I say, oh, I didn't know that there's other people struggling from different cultures.
Yeah.
So what I can do to help these people, because there is a gap between new Americans or refugees and Americans. Especially when you get here, you don't know how you're going to get a bus. You don't know how you're going to rent a house, how you're going to buy a car,
Right.
where you're going to find a
basics,
job.
yeah.
Yes, the basics.
You're relearning all of the things you already knew how to do where you came from, but now you're here and you have to relearn this whole new system of how to do the same things, but in a different way.
You got it. So, but a little bit back home, I was a journalist. So I was running a newspaper. So that's how the idea came in my mind. Then I say, oh, what I can do to help other people to have like a tool of communication, to get to know what's going on, to get to know about refugees. Because, people have different thinking about the refugees. Many of people, they don't even know why refugees are here.
They don't know the difference between a refugee, an asylum seeker, and a undocumented person. They don't know how these things correlate or don't. It's a lot of different terminology that people aren't familiar with. They just think immigrant and don't understand there's more to that. I like using the word migrant
Yes.
over immigrant because
Yes.
people are coming here from all over the world.
Yep.
Their status, legal or not, is always varying. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's how I started Karibu News 2015. I think it was in May. And
Yes.
for the first
Yes.
contact that I made, I contacted you because you
Yep.
had a good experience.
Fresh out of
And
college too,
you
working
went
the
to,
newspapers there and doing some side work outside of college. So yeah,
yes,
this was my first real full-time employment
really?
with the actual, like I worked with a magazine before that, that was still in the beginning stages, and after maybe 6 months to a year of being there, I met you, and
Yep.
you told me all about this.
Yes. So that's how we get started with the Karibu News as a multilingual newspaper.
Yes.
And a multicultural, of course, because we're printing in different top 6 languages spoken in Buffalo. Those
Right.
are, of course, there's English, there's a French, Burmese. We have a big population speaking Burmese.
Right.
We had Nepali, we had Arabic.
Yep.
Remember, we had Spanish.
Yep.
And sometimes when we get a chance, we'll publish in other different languages just to help
Right.
people to get to know what's going on. If you're looking for maybe a beautiful school where your child can go and study,
Yeah.
how are you going to get a nice job? How are you? Yes, that was the purpose of Karibu News.
Right.
Not only for refugees, but to connect our community.
Yeah.
Also, I want to mention this. It was an opportunity to give people opportunity to tell their stories.
Yeah, we did do a lot of first person stories. Zawin was the first person I interviewed. That was one of the more difficult stories to hear, which I imagine difficult for him to experience, talking about what it was like for him to be a refugee, not just here, but when he was leaving his home country and going to other countries before he eventually came here.
Yep.
And that seems like that's a common experience.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
America isn't always the first stop for some of the migrants here.
Exactly. And remember, yeah, like you say, America is everybody's immigrant from somewhere.
Everybody.
So
unless you're an indigenous
exactly.
American, you are from somewhere else.
Yeah, we try to give a voice to many people that we could at that time. Like this publication, remember this?
I do.
Yes.
There's Vicky Ross over there.
You see?
Yep.
Yes. So this was giving a real voice, not only for refugees and immigrants, but to everybody.
Right.
Just to be a voice of voiceless.
I want to talk about how Karibu News evolved throughout its time. How long did it exist? Back in 2015, we started. Refresh my ancient memory. How long did we run the publication for?
Yeah, we ran this newspaper from 2015, like you mentioned, to like 2019. Yeah. That's about 4 years. Yeah. But of course, that's why we have to explain why we're coming back and why. Maybe you ran to the store and you couldn't find a copy of Karibu News, because I received many calls of people all Buffalo, different cities.
It seems saying, yeah.
Oh, we need a Karibu News. So
right, what happened?
Yeah, of course, it was very difficult to run this newspaper. And you know, you're a journalist. You know how it's difficult, especially these papers.
Yeah, printing was the most pressing issue. The cost for it was astronomical.
It was, yes.
It was a lot for the budget we had that we were working with.
And I remember when I started, I had a small loan from Weedy.
Yeah.
But the money that I was using as a loan, it couldn't even pay ourselves.
Couldn't pay ourselves. We were unpaid for a while. Me, you, and Tyler Bagwell, who was also a part of Karibu News. We were doing this for free for quite some time.
Yes. So we were struggling, but we will make sure that we publish something.
Yeah.
So the newspaper was supposed to publish like twice a month, but sometimes we'll miss maybe one issue.
Yeah.
But we published in total about 50 issues of Karibu News.
Yeah.
And we tackled different stories in this newspaper.
I mean, I have here the language barrier we discussed.
Yes.
We have different protest movements that were going on around the time.
Yes.
I mean, we have different ideas around the complications around freedom. We had some pretty cool titles here, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a stack of newspapers that you will see in here.
Of course. And remember, we had another Ask a Lawyer.
We had our
page,
Ask a Lawyer column, yeah.
which was translated in Arabic, sometimes in Burmese,
yeah,
to get people to know about the legal services.
process, yeah.
Yes.
I think it's interesting. So Karibu News, when we first started back in 2015, we wanted to help integrate people, migrants, into the community. What would you say today would be the goal and purpose of Karibu?
Yeah, we'll keep doing what we were doing in the past, about 10 years ago or 6 years ago. But we want to focus on our community, of course, having interviews, having some good stories that people don't talk about in our community.
Right.
Not only about refugees, but what stories that we need to hear, or we need to tell people. So that's how we bring back this Karibu News. And also I have to mention this, as we applied for a non-profit organization, this non-profit organization will be under a name called African American Baobab Inc. So I don't know if you know a baobab.
I don't. Can you explain it to me?
Oh, wow. So a baobab is it's very known in Africa. It's a big tree.
Okay.
Where when the family or friends have a conflict or have some details to talk about, so they'll go under this big tree, baobab, and resolve the issues.
Beautiful.
The conflict. So it doesn't mean that we have a conflict, but we do have different stuff happening in our community. Right. So the baobab will sit down the baobab and talk about those issues.
Yeah. And Karibu will be a project of Baobab.
You got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Karibu.
Yeah, Karibu News back.
We're back.
We're back.
Karibu.
Welcome back to the show. We're happy to have you here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Karibu News. We've actually been going through some of the issues we have here, the past issues. I don't know if you see this, but this was a really good issue that we printed November 11th in 2015.
Wow.
We have the Reverend and Imam in here and an interfaith gathering. Looks like it was a wedding service. And then when you open the page, I just want to point out how timely this is. A pro-Palestinian group protests at Niagara Square. This was from 2015. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Palestine, especially today. And these are other complicated conversations that really shouldn't be complicated, but they are. But what do you have in your issue over here? Some of these. What was your favorite segment from Karibu News?
Oh my God! Oh my God! I have good stories published, and this issue was issue 44 of March 16 in 2018, and we had a declaration of equality for Muslims women with a beautiful picture in the newspaper. I don't know if this group still existing, but we had another interview with one of the women of this group as a Buffalonian of the Week. You remember?
I remember Buffalonian of the Week. It was exciting.
Yes. Also, we had another beautiful girl. Her name is Fa Muna, and the story was my journey from Thailand to Buffalo. This was one of the amazing stories that we published about these beautiful people. So yeah, we covered so many good stories.
I think this one's making this one's also really sweet. Fighting cancer with hockey sticks and pucks. I mean, it was not a refugee or immigrant focused story, but it just goes to show how vast the coverage was. We talked about all sorts of issues affecting community in Buffalo, not just migrant community, but all spaces.
there's no other paper like it. It talks about everything from things going on internationally to nationally. It will come here and talk about the celebrations we have here or things going on in the community, and that's how I find out about different cultural events.
So it'll be a digital zine of some sorts, magazine, newspaper, but
Yes.
what else? Will there be video content? Will there be events? Talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but we used to have a small events. So I and my board, we are planning just to do some cultural events. We have like a young generation,
Yes.
right? So at school, in high school, in college, right?
Right.
How we can teach them or bring them in this conversation that we don't talk, or
Yeah.
maybe we talk only at home. How we can have this type of topics,
Like bridging a gap
Bridging a
between
gap.
generations
Yes.
and between cultures and between communities, I should say.
between communities.
Yeah.
Yes. Not only that. I always say refugees or immigrants, but we have many kids coming from different countries.
Yeah.
Imagine like a kid from Iraq who got here,
Yeah.
don't know language, don't know nothing.
Yeah.
He got here, he worked hard, and now he's in college. He got a good story to tell people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they have good stuff culturally to share the days.
Yeah. And I also think it's important to mention the hard stuff too, the conflict.
Oh yeah.
The more difficult things to talk about, because community is sloppy and difficult, and it is also beautiful, but we work to make it happen and make it strong. And I think having those conversations that are in community on a platform where everyone can share their thoughts and views on it could be helpful.
Of course, yeah. When I thought about bringing back Karibu News, I'm sorry that it took too long to bring it back, So, but my goal was just to think how we can promote the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Remember, when I left my country, it's not a secret, but I had this challenge because in my country there's not really a freedom of speech. So when I got here, then I say, oh, I can say something, right? So and I know how other people from other different cultures, they struggle
Yeah.
to say something.
Right.
So how we can bring those controversial topics
Yeah.
about religious politics, how we can talk about democracy. Where we came from, when
Right
we were
now.
born, people will say, oh, yeah, our country is a democracy country. But then you end up by fighting and killing people. So do we know democracy what it is?
Yeah.
How do we use this term of democracy? How these big countries
Right.
really promote democracy?
It's interesting to talk about it through a multinational lens, if that makes sense. So not just through like the background where you came from Rwanda, but also what does that look like here in America now, freedom of speech. Some people may say there is a rising fascism happening in the country. Some people may say the fascism has been here, depending on what community you're in. Some people are just starting to open their eyes and notice it. So
Yep.
I guess, is that at all a concern or just a thought? How do we navigate having these open dialogues in a time where freedom of speech seems to be oppressed? It seems to be different today than it was.
Oh yeah, and like I say,
People lose their jobs for saying all sorts
Oh, yeah,
of, especially with recent incidents of things that have happened,
Yeah.
regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, you can say something and risk.
yeah. Let me talk about the last time election,
Yes.
which really affected our life here in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know, but most of people, especially people from Africa, because it's where I'm from, they don't really understand the importance of election when you elect like a president,
Yeah.
because it never make a change in Africa. Because whatever you vote or you don't vote, they will stay the same president. Imagine a president who stays for 30 years, 40 years.
Some people say that could be our future.
Exactly. So, but today, especially here in America,
Yeah.
you saw last time election, how it really affected our life.
I did.
I don't want to teach people to vote for this president, but let's get involved
Yeah.
in this election. Because if you don't vote, then it will affect your life.
Yeah.
People lost jobs. Today, we have another challenge. We're not receiving refugees anymore because there's a ban of refugees or people entering in this country.
Yeah.
So we need to be involved in this political process.
Yeah.
And not to think someone else will do it. Let's make change, but
Right.
especially a positive change.
Yeah.
Don't think this is for the rich community. Don't think this is for men.
Right.
Don't think this is for women. You have to be involved.
It's inclusive.
So make
It's
your
for everybody.
contribution. It doesn't mean to be a big contribution. When it comes to say contribution, people think about money or no, just a little contribution.
See somebody. Hey. I'm talking, we need more love, more unity, peace everywhere. Somebody tell me yesterday they was crying. They couldn't say anything that I like. And I would tell them what? Tell them
We thank people like people from Journey's International Institute,
We had a lot of
Jericho
from
Road.
the resettlement agencies.
Remember,
were
we
pretty
had
essential.
Buffalo Public Schools
Yeah.
will publish some good stuff in Karibu News. So if we bring this digitally, so feel free to advertise with us and we can make some good stuff and keep giving you good news.
And that actually brings me to my next question. How can people support? And not only that, how can people find what's next for Karibu?
Yeah, right now we have our Facebook page. It's called Karibu News, of course. If you go, or if you have a Facebook, you'll be able to find Karibu News on Facebook. Yeah, you can write in a box, or soon we'll have our different platforms, social media like Instagram. So we'll inform you where you can find Karibu News on Instagram. We'll have soon, very soon, details about Instagram page. We'll have Twitter page. We used to have it, but we have to reactivate it.
Right.
So, and then we will have our YouTube channel where you watch this show. So feel free to subscribe, to like our shows. And from that, if you want to donate or to support Karibu News or to volunteer, we need volunteers.
We'll need writers.
We'll need writers.
We'll need help
because
brainstorming.
Yes, we'll have our website back. Yeah, we'll give you ways to donate and to support Karibu News through these different social medias that we are using.
Exciting. Great.
Yes. Yep.
What are some other ways outside of volunteering and monetary contributions can people support?
Look, today we're bringing this as a digital platform, of course. So we need equipment, right?
We need equipment.
We need equipment. So look, if you have 1 or 2 cameras, but you may need like 5 or 10 cameras.
Right.
You may have maybe a camera hidden in your house or you don't even use. If you have maybe like a mixer or recorder or something that can help us just to develop our work, yes.
I think if people want to help spread the word, share this video, share the website, our social media accounts, and just help talk about Karibu News so we can come back.
Yes, Sarah is a great, she's great in writing and editing, of course, as an editing chief. So yeah, I can wait. And Karibu News back.
We're back.
We're back.
Yay!
Yeah.